Alrighty guys, welcome back. I was not going to do any video on this, but I've been seeing it all over the place and I have to check it out. I just got to check it out, guys, because I don't know how much this is true and how much is not true, because it's the government like telling you stories. So I'm going to listen to this first one. It looks like I already watched it. I have, so I listened to a few 11 hours ago. I don't remember watching this, so have a quick look. Give me a second, get my earphones on. Get started.
In cities right across the country as the controversial March for Australia protests call for dramatic cuts to immigration. Lizzie?
Yeah, let's go straight to our 9 Melbourne reporter, Stephanie
I don't think that's unreasonable, to be honest.
For us. Steph, what are police doing there to prepare?
Nothing, probably.
Lizzie,
maybe
police
not.
have declared a designated area across the entire city from South Bank to Southern Cross Station up to Fitzroy Gardens. That is where they'll be checking people for weapons. They could also ask people to remove their masks or hoods. They could also ask people to leave. Now, the March for Australia protests are happening right across the country. They're also happening in Sydney and Brisbane.
I mean, I do understand it. I mean, guys, listen, I do understand where they come from. Now, this is not, they say it's far right groups. I don't believe that for 5 seconds. I don't think it's a far right group. I think this is more of a reaction to what's going on at the moment in Australia.
So police resources will be
If I'm wrong, we'll work that out.
Victoria Police have had to say.
We really want to focus on supporting the community and the search for this armed fugitive in Port Punker. And it's really frustrating that we've got to put this amount of police to a protest in the city where people are intent on coming together and clashing.
I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but let's have a look.
Yeah, so anti-immigration protesters, left-wing groups and neo-Nazis will be among the thousands.
All right, those people there, right there, are a problem. Don't want them. Get rid of them, shoot them. I don't care what you do. Deport them if you have to, as long as they're not. Even if they're Australian, deport them to, no, I was going to say New Zealand, but I don't think New Zealand wants them. Send them to North Korea or something. They can deal with them because I'll probably just execute them. So, yeah, we don't need that kind of shit, guys. And there's nothing wrong with a bit of a protest here. And I just want to decrease the immigration laws a little bit. So I do believe the immigration is too high at this current time. We don't have the resources to deal with our own population. What chance have we got to deal with other people from other countries? We need to start working on Australia before we can do too much with other countries. Once we're able to get, Australia housings under control, more housing, our food and all that, and the cost of living down, yeah, and then we could start thinking about increasing it. But we shouldn't be having it ridiculously high because we want more people. And that's also the other thing, because there's not enough Australians having kids. That is another issue that's causing this. That's why immigration is high to begin with. Not the only reason though, but I don't think in a way. So let's get going.
Expected to meet here at Flinders Street Station at midday. The other major concern is that the march will coincide with the weekly pro-Palestine protests. And given each of those groups' causes, they are expected to clash.
All right, that's a problem there. Why are they both doing it the same day, and why are they both doing it in the same area? The Palestinian one, I understand where they're coming from. They don't want war, and I know Israel doesn't want the war technically, but it's in a situation. I do see a lot of the protests near, like a petrol station near my house, and yeah, I'm kind of getting sick of it personally. I don't know why they're protesting in Australia and all that. I mean, it's not like Australia can do much. We're not part of the war, so I don't know why they're doing it here too much. I'm not really into that war anymore, because that war is just, all it's doing is killing a lot of innocent civilians. That's it. Regardless if it's Israel or Palestine or any of the other countries around it. Yeah, all it's doing is killing each other. Instead of working together, they just want to kill each other. That's all they want to do. That's how I see it.
Now, Premier Jacinta Allen has condemned the march at a multicultural gala in Melbourne last night. She said, in Australia, we don't march with Nazis. Whether they heed that message, unlikely.
What's true? We should not be having those losers in this. Okay, what the hell? I'm not sure Australia. When did this happen? 11 hours ago. That would have been the morning. It would have been about 9 o'clock. So it means we had the march. Hate it. And I don't want to watch that. It's 21 minutes. That's really too long. All right, I want to see what Sky News has got to say because these Sky News are generally on the right. Okay, this one looks good. This one. All right, we're gonna have a look at this. There's gonna be a few here, guys. Well, I want to look at Sky News first, and then we'll move on from there.
Cleaned up now. Let's get into the.
All right, here's the thing. I don't like Sky News at all. I think they're too far to the right. They're not honest 100%. But I see. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Right behind him on the left side, right there. Monopoly socialism. I mean, that's starting to tell me a lot about their ideals.
Conversation right now in the man cave is none other than the wonderful Joe Hildebrand, brother from another mother with lots of different gigs.
Love you guys. How are you? Yours is my favourite though.
I know him. I actually see him on a few shows.
All the hosts. And Ross Goodell, the national senator, who's joining us as well, mate. Plenty to fire up there. Of course, he's having his fun in Canberra, and no doubt enjoying watching the social media nonsense being put on by, among others, the Greens. But lads, let us get to where I have been for a couple of days, and I have received many emails about. I do not want to be disrespectful to the people who have said, hang on, Paul, I don't understand why you're leaping into this March for Australia and the March for Australia people. Look, I have no issue whatsoever with people who are annoyed about a whole bunch of stuff, who see this as the opportunity to remain angry about a whole bunch of stuff. What is not in dispute is that the organisers of it have told us what they think it is about. Hence why I'm suggesting to you don't go anywhere near it. You know what happens on Sunday? You've seen the flyers.
All right, I want to hear it.
Before. Joe, I want people to stay away from it because the organisers have told us what they think it's about.
Yep.
And the organisers will decide if there's any speeches and who gets to say what, and all the rest of it. And that's why I say, if you want to fly a flag out the front of your house, good luck to you. You want to put a sticker on your car, good luck to you, right?
Yep.
Stand up for the flag. But in my view, don't stand up for this.
1000%. I wouldn't touch this with a barge pole.
All right, I want to know why.
I could make. One is every single protest for Palestine, where inevitably you have someone waving a Hamas flag, carrying a picture of the Ayatollah, shouting "Death, death" to the IDF.
All right, that's something I will not support at all, guys. That is such shit.
Yep. However good your intentions are, it is the most extreme element of the protest that will get.
As I mentioned, guys, the thing I want for that region is peace. I want them to work their shit out to move forward. Now, I don't want Hamas staying there because they're suppressing the Palestinian people. They need their own government, actual government, not some sort of phony government or fake government or terrorist government as Hamas is. I want peace over there, regardless of the situation. I want them to end this war. And this goes double for Russia and Ukraine, because that is ugly as well, and I'm not going to talk about that. Maybe in a few weeks we'll probably get to something, but at the moment I'm not talking about that at all. This type of content, guys, will be far in between, because I won't be talking about tons of it. Because I'm not sure a lot of people like streamers talking about political reviews, but I am Australian. I live in the city of Melbourne, and I'm going to talk about it. So if people don't like it, scram.
All the attention, and that may well be the people now organising it, and that is what will tar you. So if you're there, you'll just be standing there thinking it's a great day out. You'll have someone behind you chanting a neo-Nazi slogan or holding up some sign that says, F off.
Well, and
that's how it's going to end out.
And again, fairly or unfairly, I can tell you what the preloaded vision is of most of the media that will cover this, right? We showed you last week.
Oh, yeah, we know exactly how they're going to talk about it.
Being arrested for yelling nasty things, and no detail of what those were in the Brisbane rally, right? Ross, no doubt you've seen politicians sort of do a pretty interesting dance around this, right? Bob Catter, all in, says go. Pauline Hanson, all in, she says if you want to go, go.
That right there concerns me. Pauline Hanson, I hate her. I mean, she's the dumbest Australian in the world. Definitely dumbest politician probably in the whole planet. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, probably just honest. I don't expect her that much, guys. Sorry, I just can't.
What's your view on this thing?
Don't go. Same as your Unity ticket here. This started off as what could have been something good to talk about, the quantum, the issue around over immigration.
All right, so what's basically it sounds like, this is what it sounds like's happened. They had good intentions at the start. It's moved on to having these extremist groups, I guess you'll call them, the Nazi people and all that. And now it sounds like it's just becoming basically a group of people bitching. Instead of having a conversation, they're getting to a point where it's not. It's frustrating for me, guys, because I do live in Australia and I know the bullshit that's going on. It's frustrating that it's been hijacked for these extremist people who think everyone should be immigration, all the people should be getting kicked out and deported and all that shit. And I agree, some people do need to be deported, especially the ones that cause trouble. I agree in that department. But I think everyone needs to be kicked out. I think the brain cells are like that small. They don't see the bigger picture. I do understand where they're coming from to a degree. I do believe immigration needs to be cut down a bit. I don't think it needs to be cut out completely. Just cut down. We need to get the buildings, the construction industry up, the resources up for like concrete and all that kind of stuff, and get some trade business going on so we can have the builders build as quickly as possible without them taking forever. Because I don't know if you know, but my street's pretty quiet, which is great. But in my street, there's already 2 houses getting built. And then on my main road, just out down the road, there's like constructions, like 3 areas of roadworks. It's taking forever to do something that looks like it should take them maybe a week. So yeah, that's where I'm going.
It's just descended, the same as the Bridge Brigade in the last few weeks. It's now focused on a group of people, a group of races against them. It's the wrong message. It is just the wrong thing to be sending out. Any march that goes and isolates and threatens and scares people is not what we want to be doing here. We want to be a nation that can have a civilised conversation about our issues.
That I agree with. See, exactly what I said. We want a conversation, not an argument.
And it will be picked up for exactly as you say, the very worst, and there will be the very worst. People love to go to these things and create headlines. Not all of them believe in what they're there. Some people go there to actually agitate, to create a problem. Stay home, as you see, talk about this with your mates, put something on social media, but do not go to this thing because you don't know how it will end up.
Yeah, it could end badly. I'm starting to understand where they're coming from now. This event already happened, so I can't really say not go or go because it already happened.
And it's heading in the wrong direction.
So I'm going to see what happened.
I'm also with a lot of people saying, well, hang on, where do I put the energy, right? Okay, join a political party, all right? If you actually want to change the system, right, you either run for parliament or you've got to advocate to the people who do run for parliament, not just forwarding your own stuff. Get inside the system. That's the way to change it, right? But some of the stuff being said, again,
he's completely right. I actually agree with that.
I've been too hot about this yesterday because some people did misinterpret this as some sort of personal whack on people who feel like I do about a lot of different issues. That's not the case, right? You know that, but equally, I'm not backing down. The organisers have told us what this is about. Please stay away from it. Please.
All right. So if that's true, then yeah, I recommend you stay. Now, I want to see what actually happened because there's probably going to be a lot of it here. All right, 2 hours ago. Okay, here we go.
Welcome to the program. Let's get into the 3 things that are firing me up tonight. Number 1, the March for Australia, Iran attacks, and 3, our US relationship. Today, thousands of people
I want to talk about the first one.
March for Australia rallies nationwide. The events were poorly organised, giving space for extremists to hijack it. But most people who turned up were decent, patriotic Australians who feel ignored by the media and police.
That's what I want to hear. I want it to be more level-headed people, not these extremists. Because I know people are frustrated. I've got friends who are frustrated, including myself. And that really annoys me. I want to have a Australia that's just and fair. I don't want the head where the UK's heading. I don't know if you know about the UK and their stupid laws. So America's starting to get there too. I mean, with the dumbass president. Sorry, guys, if you're from the States and you're a Donald Trump fan, bad luck. I'm calling him an idiot. I mean, but then again, our PM's pretty much in the same category, so.
Political class. However, this was the despicable moment that unfolded when Jewish journalist Avi Yemeni confronted a group of neo-Nazis.
Here we go. Watch this. All I see is a bunch of weaklings. Not everyone, obviously.
Thankfully, that was only a small group of people. Most of the people that went today feel frustrated and silenced. They see their children locked out of home ownership, the middle class being hollowed out, and communities fractured. This isn't the Australia they grew up in.
And I agree, 100%. I actually do agree. I don't know how I'm agreeing with her, but I'm agreeing, guys. This is such a shitty system.
And it's not the one they want to leave behind. Yet while these rallies were instantly and widely condemned, we see weekly pro-Palestine marches that rarely attract the same outrage, despite them also being organised by people with extreme views. The organiser of the pro-Palestine march, John Lees, wouldn't even condemn Hamas.
Of course they don't. They're pieces of shit. I mean, they're still extremists. They're just losers. I don't know why the government allows losers to do protests. The protests, the people who organise it, have to be looked into before they're allowed to do these protests. If they're looked in and they're like extremists and these shitty people, these type of people, the government should have the ability to say, no, you can't do it here. If you come here, you're going to get arrested. People say, or kicked out. Depending on the situation, of course.
I'm interested to know if you view Hamas as a terrorist organisation or a group of freedom fighters.
Well, look, I mean, I don't particularly want this story to be about me. It's about trying to stop this great crime.
Dude, answer the damn question. It's not even that deep. Ask you a simple question. How is it about you? What do you... I feel like I'm getting dumber by watching these videos today. I really do.
That's going on in Gaza today.
Yeah, but you can still answer that question pretty straightforward.
Yes, he can.
Well, I thought that's straightforward.
And these are the kinds of chants you
It is that straightforward, guys. It's straightforward. It's not a hard question.
can consistently hear. And the only time you'll see an Australian flag is if it's being burned or the person unfurling it is getting arrested. Yet pro-Palestine marches...
Yeah, we need to kick these losers out of Australia. I mean, I don't care if they're Australian. Send them to North Korea. That's all I've got to say. Or China, or one of those dictatorship countries. Because they're such loser scumbags.
Rarely get the same level of condemnation. Now, I disagree with the organisers of March for Australia and I condemn the racist rhetoric.
Definitely agree.
This march is a flashpoint and it captures what many Australians are feeling. 53% of Australians think immigration is too high. Even among young people, 40% think immigration is too high. In the US and the UK, around 15% of the population are migrants born overseas. In Australia, it's over 30%. In fact,
ouch, that's really high.
The second highest share of foreign-born people in the OECD. And in the 5 years to the end of 2024,
yeah, we need to drop it.
Lockdowns, net overseas migration averaged 265,000 people per year, a 194% increase above the post-war average.
Oh, it's gone down a little bit, but
our population has increased by 45%. This is the fastest growth in the developed world.
Yes, we need to slow it down, guys. We need to make sure it's manageable.
Migration will continue indefinitely into the future. Extreme migration levels have led to housing shortages, slower productivity growth, congested infrastructure, and weakened social cohesion.
Yep.
But the immigration debate must be careful. Migrants themselves are not to blame for government policy.
No. See, that's not the issue I have, guys. I'm not blaming the people who come from overseas and all that. I think a lot of them are good people. Most of them don't have any issues, don't cause problems and all that. That's not the problem I'm having with them. It is the immigration itself. It's just too high. We just need to drop it down a little bit. It's nothing to do with the people themselves. I don't want that idea that I'm like a bigot or some sort of racist or something like that, because that's not what it's about. For me, it's about managing the population. Decreasing all the things that are stressing out Australians, like houses. The houses should not be super expensive. We need to drop the population down a little bit, guys. We're going to have to do it. Simple as that.
of high migration intake. And the danger is when opposition to mass immigration slides into racial identity politics. If it becomes more about hating strangers than loving Australia, the movement will not be successful, even though most Australians agree that migration levels are
True. Let's go back on more. I just want to see the protesting. You should be able to see it under Channel 7. Oh, I don't care about Trump. I don't know if Trump's around anymore, guys. I haven't heard anything from him. Minutes, a few hours ago, boosting heart power. Don't care what they say about that. I'm looking for something 3 hours ago. Wait, okay, it's probably going to be pretty far back. Trying to find information about it, but I don't see anything. Oh, that's a day ago, so yeah. 2 hours ago, that's definitely not what I want to watch. Something like that, but I don't see it here at all. March for Australia. I want to see what this guy's talking about. We'll see what he's saying. I'm hoping he's not a one of those nasty people, so let's have a look.
All I see is white dudes.
Oh, I know this guy. All right, no, never mind. I know this guy's not an extremist guy. I know he's not.
Jackson from Red Thread, which you can check.
It's all right. I'm just making sure.
Some very good videos on it, and I'm not just saying it because I'm on it, but that is a mad call. Thank you, Jackson. Stop giving me money though. Bloke with a megaphone sounds like the auctions cattle. Bloke with a megaphone sounds like he does auctions cattle for a living. Yeah, they've got that sound to it. Hey Jordan, I don't know if you remember me, but I was the guy that yelled out Gina Swinehart and David Little Dan.
But first, tens of thousands of people.
All right, let's watch this one and we'll finish up.
Today to show their pride in Australia and to call for a stop to mass immigration.
The government's supposed to work for us, the people. We don't want half there going on, so we're making a stand today to make things right. Albo, you work for us, mate, and you got to go.
Yeah, Australians turned out in force to.
Here's the thing. I don't think it matters which government you have. They're both going to do it. That's the problem, guys. I don't think it matters at all. If you
Fight the fear-mongering from politicians and the media.
Australia is a nation of foreigners, just like that wonderful song says. From all.
Yeah, we definitely need to drop it down, guys. We need to drop it because Australia is just not. We're not equipped to deal with this. Okay, we need to push it down. Now, I'm not saying kick people out that are already going into Australia. I don't want that to happen. That is unfair to them because it's not their fault that the government's system's shit. But you get the idea I'm talking about.
On Earth
So yeah, this is why I'm watching a few of them. So I'm pretty pissed off as myself, and that's why I'm watching it.
With Nazis.
Oh, God.
Australia is a place that went to war with Nazis.
We
and
absolutely condemn the March for Australia rally that's going on today. It is not about increasing social harmony. We think, and I think the vast majority.
I don't know if I can trust a fatty.
Think that.
I mean, I don't know if he's got a neck, guys.
For our country.
I'm not trying to fat shame him, but he's got no neck.
Politicians should have had more faith in their fellow Australians. When neo-Nazi leader Jack Eltis was given the microphone in Sydney, large numbers of people booed and many left the event.
At one point in Melbourne, pro-Australia...
Yeah, so a lot of these people are not Nazis or anything, even though Nazis might be the ones who sorted it out and started it. As soon as they came up, people left because they didn't want to deal with the bullshit. And I agree, I would have left too. This is the reason I didn't even go. And secondly, I didn't know about it because I didn't really hear about it too much. I heard about it in the news and all that, but yeah, I was never going to go to this because this is a whole lot of problems. I'm starting to think maybe I should have, but just for fun.
Protesters even came face to face with pro-Palestinian protesters. Have a look.
Oh yeah, this is where things got ugly.
There's a lot to unpack in the events of today, but let's start with the
You really need to sort it out.
Seems of the majority of people who.
One thing I think the government should do, and this is just my opinion, is if you've got more than one protest going on, you need to have a different path You can't have both of them going in the same area. It's going to cause problems, especially something like this. Because these politician ones going to get pushed out. There's more Australians than there is of them. And yeah, I'm just saying.
Who marched around Australia. They're upset that mass immigration has replaced controlled immigration. There was no one that I heard or saw who was anti-immigration. They were anti-mass immigration.
Exactly.
And the concern is that multiculturalism has clearly replaced assimilation. As a result, our country is changing. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. We've got ethnic enclaves around
I
the
agree.
country. We've got civil unrest every weekend.
I can't believe I'm saying this about Sky News, guys, but I'm agreeing with him.
Clearly up as a result of mass
I'm
immigration.
agreeing with Sky News. This whole world has gone screwy.
We're continually told on top of that that Australia is built on stolen land and that our history is something to be ashamed of. Is it any wonder then that so many regular mums, dads are upset? For Murray Watt to come on Sky News this morning and say that these protests were just as a broad brushstroke hateful and divisive is disingenuous. He knows very well that the vast majority of people are not at all hateful. But even
So that's what I was saying about early on, guys, when we started this video. I knew this is what was going to happen. I think Labor needs to be kicked. I think both of them need to be kicked. I'm going to say this, Labor and the Liberals, because they're both useless. We need to be able to vote for a decent government, a government that has a brain, and I know that's hard to comprehend because I don't know any government that's got a brain. That's the issue. I feel like they're all stupid people. Maybe I should run for PM. I've got a better chance, I think.
The Victorian opposition leader said anyone who's anti-immigration is racist. Well, that's the most stupid thing to say. Immigration is a policy. It's not an indictment on a certain ethnic group. You could be anti-immigration without being racist. And so for the Victorian opposition leader to just write off large numbers of people like that is just silly. But I do understand why politicians, maybe Brad Batten, would be nervous about picking a side in this fight because, as we said, these protests were marred by neo-Nazis getting involved and the lack of leadership in terms of who's running these things, that would be a concern for people as well. So I can understand the reluctance of politicians to get involved, but to dismiss it as hateful and divisive...
What, to get involved
it's completely wrong.
Talking about the policy in general?
To get involved in the march.
Okay, no, that I can understand. From what I observed, or everything that I've seen today, there wasn't a lot of neo-Nazis at these protests. The majority of people at these protests were everyday Aussies who've quite frankly had a gutful of this country being overrun by absolute madness, out of control, runaway immigration policy.
I agree.
More than 1.1 million immigrants come into this country since Labor was elected. And let's be realistic, but we can't...
This is why I don't follow politics too much, guys, because I can't trust them. They're completely unreliable, both of them.
So I say good on those people for getting out there and taking a stand. In fact, I think this marks a pivotal moment. I was actually heartened to see all of those Australian flags. People had them draped over them. They were waving them.
Oh, yeah, definitely, guys. I mean, I probably should have done something here when knowing about it. Like maybe had an Australian flag or something. I didn't even think of it.
But if an Aussie flag gets waved, all of a sudden it's an extremist behaviour.
And this is the point I want to make, because let's be honest, it is not...
Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but if that is true, that is concerning.
It is not hateful to love your country. It is not hateful to be proud of your country. Yet you've got the left who peddle this ridiculous narrative that it's racist to wave the Australian flag. Honestly, it's like they tie themselves in knots of guilt constantly. The absolute self-loathing is out of control.
Oh, definitely.
And secondly, it's also not hateful to bring up the fact that people are worried about the state of this country when you've got flags of terror groups being waved so brazenly down the Harbour Bridge, or we saw what happened at the Sydney Opera House days after the Hamas attacks.
All right, yeah, that's something we need to deal with, guys. That's something we have to talk about. I wasn't going to talk about it in this video. I was actually going to make another video about this down the track, but I think I'll just add it into this video. But yeah, we need to do something about these loser groups who praise Hamas and all that shit. Now, I have no problems with the Palestinian people, and this is not a dig at them. I'm having a dig at the Hamas. Hamas are the one who caused problems. If they didn't go around kidnapping and killing people, and I know Israel does it too, I'm not going to single them out, but Yeah, as I said, if they didn't do that shit, there wouldn't be a war going on right now. There would be nothing on there. I know things over there are really hard and America's getting involved, which America should stay the fuck out because it's not their war. Every time America gets involved into a war, it ends up getting ugly. Every single time, you know, like the Iraq war, that one was a giant waste of time, the Vietnam War. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other wars that they've been involved at SAC.
And I find it appalling that the media are just writing today with this neo-Nazi line, marred by neo-Nazis. Yes, I agree that there were neo-Nazis. I do agree, and I condemn that. It is absolutely abhorrent.
I agree. Yeah, there were some there, of course, and that stuff we do not want. But saying that, there are a lot of good people there today.
We should all be condemning
But that's what the media does, right?
But the point of this,
The media look for conflict.
They do, but
yeah, they do.
Why wouldn't you write the article? Tens of thousands of people marching for Australia, proud of this country. It just baffles me.
Because that's not going to sell papers. It's the conflict that sells.
And the other thing
Yeah,
I
he's
would say,
right.
is that I also don't think it's unfair to question the types of people we are bringing into this country, especially those who come from places whose values are incompatible with Western democracies, and that is not racist to talk about, and you're not a bigot to bring it up.
So everything you've said is correct. The question, though, is where does this movement go?
Who knows
so
with the government?
Today, clearly a big movement. First question, do politicians listen?
Of course
or do they
not.
Continue to deride these people. If they deride them and demonise them, then we'll see these marches increase and continue, which raises my second question, and that's the question of leadership. We don't have a Nigel Farage in this country to lead a pro-Australian movement, which leaves it open to either idiots leading the movement. I don't know how a neo-Nazi was given a microphone in Sydney.
I agree, appalling.
That was just a stupid decision. Someone messed up badly there. And so there's either that or you get radicals taking hold of the movement. So those are questions that I'm interested in.
The problem
happens moving forward.
Leading up to the last election, okay, migration was not front and centre. Actually, in the last two elections,
I don't think they were even brought up.
It is a debate that both sides of politics seem to shy away from.
Correct.
You will recall that Peter Dutton did make that pledge to cap migration numbers at a certain amount, which, by the way, leading economists, for example, Leith Van Onselen, said it's simply not going to be enough because given the housing crisis, we need to really dramatically scale it back. But they did not prosecute. The coalition were too scared to go that further on. And I can honestly say, and we've got Pauline Hanson coming up on the show tonight.
They're losing numbers to One Nation because they talk about it.
Exactly. The only party that is willing to prosecute this argument, and I maintain it is not racist to talk about migration.
No, of course not. It's not racist unless you're picking on a certain race. I don't think the the One Nation party is actually doing that. I don't think she's racist exactly. Like I said, I don't like her personally. I don't know why. It's something about her I don't like. I don't trust her. But if she is willing to stand up for the right people in this scenario, good on her. I'll give her some kudos.
And you're not a bigot to bring it up, but political parties shy away from it. Forget Labor. They're not going to do anything because high migration actually suits Labor politically, but they're not going to do anything about it. It is up to the coalition to prosecute this, and I do not think that they will.
And in terms of these marches and where they go, and if they get ugly, the fault is not primarily the marchers, it's our mainstream politicians, Labor and Liberal, who refuse to have the conversation. If you end up with chaos on the streets, it's the fault of politicians who won't allow a conversation. That's the big issue.
I completely agree.
And they're right. They're completely right. I mean, you're not having a conversation, so you can't. I'm having that situation right now. Labor needs to sit down and have a talk. Talk to the people, or talk to whoever is in charge, whoever that is, as long as it's not Nazi or extremist of any kind, and try to work things out. I mean, you got to come together, guys. This is how bad it is in Australia. This is why I do not want to talk about it. But you know what? I'm an Australian and someone who's concerned about it for the future of everyone and my yeah, even for my family, guys, because I got someone who's had a kid only recently, and I don't want her bringing up in a world full of this bullshit. I don't want her to be in a world where it's really hard. I want it to be easier. That's what I'm trying to say. Hopefully this will start it out, guys. I don't know how it's going to go. See you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.